Yesterday, I literally waited until the last hour to decide to do something that I knew about for weeks and I wanted to attend for weeks. And instead of doing like what the typical person would do, which is like, prep for the event, I teetered with, am I going, am I not going? All up until the last hour. And so when I should have been grabbing my keys to hop on the road and go, I was figuring out what I was going to wear, prepping what I was going to wear. Then I had to take a shower, do my hair, throw on some makeup. After that, I needed to head to the gas station and gas up, and then to the grocery store to pick up some beverages for the second part of the gathering. I did all of that, and then I went to the gathering, and the first part of it, um, I was there for not that long, and I just I wasn't able to make the second half of the gathering. And so as I looked over on my passenger seat and saw all those beverages that I just bought, ah, um, I couldn't help but to realize that I was mentally drained. I was exhausted. And so I decided, let me go ahead and start traveling back towards home. Then I decided that I was going to try to work instead, like maybe, just kind of switch up my flow and do something else. So I attempted that, but it didn't work out. My mind was racing about, like, why did I wait to the very last minute? And just kind of analyzing how I noticed my energy kind of depleting and when it started and stuff like that. And also just trying to figure out like why, well, what I just said, like why did I wait till the last minute? What exactly, like why did my energy deplete like that? But over the past few years, I have noticed that my energy depletes quickly when I'm in social situations and gatherings where there's like more than a couple people and, a lot going on. And so I'm like, okay, is it that? Is it because I waited until the last minute? So I like used up all my energy trying to do it right then and there? Like, what is it? And so I eventually had to bring it on home and take a nap, a much needed nap. And when I woke up, I ended up watching a video and it was titled, Why Do We Wait Until the Last Minute? And I didn't realize that that's something that people with ASD deal with. And so here we are with yet another, um, like trait or, just something else that like I deal with quite regularly that seems to be why I'm self diagnosing myself with ASD. Because, like I said before, all the videos that I watch on it, it really does, like, put yet another puzzle piece to the puzzle together for me. It just, all the videos that I'm watching is making so much sense to me and helping me to understand all those questions that I've had about myself since I was little. So anyway, and I do apologize for saying a lot. It is like 3:42 in the morning. Like I said, I came home, I took a nap, and so I woke up and I'm just up now. But basically I've dealt with waiting until the last minute, on projects and like important everyday life type things my whole life, but I've noticed that within the past couple of years since I started actually trying to heal a lot of my trauma and understand why my life is the way that it is, and understanding me, coming to the realization that I may just have ASD, going through the motions of figuring out, like, oh wow, like I've been masking and taking that mask off, dealing with the reality of how my natural state is so much different than the masking that I had been doing. And also having to deal with, which is part of the trauma, through my masking since I started at a very, very young age. I developed that and I got that going pretty well, except for through the masking, I got myself in, some toxic situations, some unfortunate circumstances, and things like that. So I've ended up accumulating a lot of trauma over the years. And so now at this point, I've noticed within the past couple of years, I am doing it even more so with the social gatherings when I'm around people, because I I hardly understand myself. I don't know how the people that I care about will receive who I am, or like if they will even believe that it's me, or they will just think that, oh, she's depressed or whatever it is. I'm not really sure how that will be. And then it's exhausting to try to figure all that out while I'm still trying to figure out what's masking, what's not masking. Like really trying to decipher the real me from masking, because the way that my mind looks at it is masking is a part of me, because all of those things that I've learned since I was little and have developed is a part of who I am, how I interact, how I think, what I do. And so it's just interesting because I feel like what most would consider masking is just another part of me. And some people would look at it like, "Oh, you're being fake," but it's not that. It's me adapting to, or trying to adapt to, what is acceptable in society, because I've dealt with a lot of rejection and I've dealt with a lot of just people throughout my whole life, um, trying to, air quotes, fix me. And, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to move this way, you need to move that way, you need to say this, you need to say that, you need to, just be something that I'm naturally not. And when you start realizing that who you naturally are isn't received well by most people, isn't received well by most of the jobs that you've gone after, you have to show them something different in order to get a different result. And I did that my whole life up until a couple years ago. And it's like, I just, I crashed. Like, I don't know. I just crashed. And now it's like, it's hard for me to put that face back on and to mask. It's, yeah, it's hard for me to even explain, really. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm ranting and just kind of going off on a tangent here. But if you can relate, or you know someone with ASD and they can relate, it would be much appreciated if you put it in the comments, because I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out. Definitely, I'm still not technically diagnosed, but I will say that I'm self diagnosed at this point with ASD. And I'm just trying to figure everything out, because it's kind of later in life. Like, I've lived decades a certain way with a whole lot of question marks. And now I'm getting the answer to those question marks and unlearning a lot of what I felt I needed to do in order to be accepted. So, yeah, bringing it back to, why do we wait until the last minute? I'm starting to realize, as far as with me, I am hoping that this is temporary, or at least the intensity of why I feel like I'm waiting until the last minute changes over time as I heal. But it's because it's it's draining for me to be around people right now. Outside of like real quick hellos and, stopping at the grocery store and stuff like that. But like, if it's like for an extended amount of time, for some reason it's draining me, and I become extremely exhausted. And I have to remind myself of that. And then, even like today, I still didn't know how severe it would be. So it's like, it's all a learning phase. And um yeah, I'm gonna keep trying, because what else can I do? um but this is a difficult process that I'm actually starting to get into. I'm intrigued by it, because on the one hand, I know a way that can make it easier for me to exist in society, but it has not too much to do with who I am at my core. And I think that my soul is not, it's like, it's depleting my soul to mask all the time. It's exhausting. So, yeah, it's like, it's a new journey that I'm on, an adventure of life, and me trying to figure this thing out. And I do want to apologize to anyone that I care about, because I seem flaky. I know that it's hard to understand from the outside looking in, like, what's going on with me. Heck, from the inside, just from the inside, it's confusing. So I just want to apologize, because I'm not trying to be flaky. I'm not trying to be dismissive. I do care. And at this point, like, I need to care about myself enough to go through this process. So, yeah. Once again, if anyone can relate to this, or know someone that may be able to relate to this, either share the video with them or leave a comment. That would be much appreciated. Thank you.